Yeah, man. What's up?
How's it going?
Good. Breakfast was good, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
French toast was bomb.
Let me present you real quick. I mean,
Okay.
if people don't know who you are already, then they kind of got an issue. Keaton, thank you for coming in for the podcast. If you don't know who he is, make sure you follow him on Instagram. Make sure you follow him on YouTube. Like, come on, man. You have to know this guy by now. And I will start with, what do you own and stuff like that, but...
All right. Well, I want to say I appreciate you inviting me down today. I drive a 2017 WRX. Not to be confused with the STI, even though it has the STI wing on the back. All right. Don't mind the haters. But I had it, I guess, bought at the end of October 2016, and then ever since then, just slowly added more and more to it, to where you see the, like, you can't really call it a final product because it's always going to be
something new.
Yeah, something
but it's a very
new
recognizable car.
Yeah, it stands out for sure right now. It's really unique, and I guess like I just enjoy being able to make it my own.
And that Ferrari?
The Ferrari, I have a 2017 Maserati Ghibli. I just picked it up about 2.5 months ago. Been driving it kind of around as a daily, but is more of, I saw the pricing wasn't too bad on it, so I was like, I'm going to try this out, see how it works, and ever since I've gotten it, it drives really good. It's, I think, pushing about 406 horsepower, just all stock, and so definitely has a little bit of power, but it's more of just a smooth and controlled ride. Yeah.
It's heavy, right?
Yeah, it's probably about 40, I think about 4,000 pounds, maybe a hair more, like give or take like 100 pounds, but it's more of like, compared to the WRX, is like the WRX can get around all these turns and just basically you ride it basically kind of like a go-kart in my opinion, but with the Maserati you just like, you sit back, you cruise, and that's where you turn the music up and just chill. Yeah.
You actually are the only one, and Josh Bignoria, or how do you say it?
Yeah.
Only two guys I actually know that actually push their WRXs, and like either you'd go like snowboarding and you take a car through the snow.
Yeah.
Josh takes his car through like all these like little trails. Only two people I know use their WRX for what they're kind of built for, which is.
Well, that was something that I had to look into. I mean, whenever I got the car, because I had seen it really in the past, like where basically just people just driving on the road, but then once I saw like the rally style, the autocross style, the track style, I was thinking, well, maybe I could kind of build the car a little bit more towards that, and so I've kind of set it up for track right now. I haven't done really too much autocross. It's definitely not set up for rally, but
he has bags. He has bags.
But going up to the track, it definitely handles really well. And then I've done some modifications to it for the handling. So it doesn't, I guess, the biggest problem with ours is the oversteer on it. So it kind of pushes itself out as you're trying to turn. But with some suspension modifications and adding a little bit of camber, it helps kind of suck the car down. That way it can get through the turns.
You done that go-kart little track, right?
Yeah, there's one... it's called, I think, Speed Sports.
How does is that like? Can you get to good speeds on the car, or is it just?
I'd say
tight?
the highest that I think I've gotten up to is maybe about 70, but that's just one straightaway, and so it's kind of like you floor it, hit 70, and then slam on the brake.
Oh my! I thought the highest was probably like 30 miles per hour.
Oh no, you basically ride around the track going about 30, like through all the turns, but there's some straightaways, like one where you get up to probably about 50, 55, and then another one normally probably about like 65-ish. You're saying 70 is like where I really tried that one time, but normally about 65.
Do they still do that? I've been wanting to go.
Yeah, I'll have to let you know about that. It's usually, I think, like once a month or once every other month. I've been kind of out of the loop on it since it's only on Sundays, and usually I already have something going on, so I've had to miss out on it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to doing that here again soon.
I think I called them once to set up like an event, but they technically told me, it's like, well, we'll close it if you can give us this much money, or if this much people come in.
Gotcha.
It was a risky thing. Like 20-something people plus have to come in and pay $100 like to go. Well, it's a good price for a whole day event, but if like let's say even 10 people show up, like I gotta pay $1,000.
Yeah.
and that's not it's not cool.
Well, it's worth it in my opinion because some places it's anywhere I'd say maybe from like if you're paying like $50, you're only going to probably get like 2 or maybe 3 10-minute sessions, if even that. And so normally, yeah, like an actual track's more anywhere from like a range of like $200 to say like $500 where you get actual good sessions. But this $100 where it starts at like 9 in the morning and goes all the way till 2. Besides maybe like a 45-minute break for lunch, it's like 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off, 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off. You just keep on going until you're kind of like, okay, I don't think my car has any more brakes right now. It's like I need to let it cool and just sit for a minute. And then whenever you're ready, you just jump back out and go. And it's set up where it's real laid back. Is like it's not like a competition where you got to set this and this and this. But if you're like, hey, I got 5 friends, we all want to race. Can you time us and set it up? Then you can do that. They have done stuff too where it's like if you want to enter and just basically just do a single lap, whoever has the fastest lap, you get $10 or something. So, I mean, stuff like that is pretty cool. And, I mean, I look towards maybe in the future kind of setting the car up more just specifically for track. But as of right now, it's still kind of like along the lines of like my daily driver versus something that I can take out, what they call like weekend warrior, like a track car.
The guy, the owner of that place is actually really chill too. Like he told me, I was like, what can we do? What can we not do? He's like, just don't mess up.
Yeah.
don't go off the course. Don't.
That's what they've said
like, whatever
too.
else is like, y'all can really do whatever. Just.
That's the thing. Yeah, he's under kind of the guidance of someone else up there that was like, all right, you do your thing, but don't mess it up. And I remember one time, I think it was a FRS, it slid off the track and ran into the fence.
Yeah, he told me, he's like, yeah, we had a guy a couple of weeks ago, he kind of ran off and hit the fence, you know. He's paying for it, but I don't want to see anyone do that, man.
Yeah. I remember the next month, whenever we went out there, he's like, okay, now for these turns, you gotta, they call it like a chicane, like where you have to actually, I don't know, kind of like a weave type pattern around some cones, basically just to slow you down so you're not full throttle going into a turn trying to brake like he was doing.
Was it a stock FRS or is it modified?
I think it was just exhaust. I don't know if it was a full, full pipe, but maybe just cap back on it.
They had better tires at least?
I don't think it had very good tires. I think that was the issue. There's some cars out there. I mean, but in part of it doing all of it, it's like I just go and do it for fun. And so it's like whether your car has like bald tires on it or full track, the best tires on it is like you just go out there and drive. And it's like if you're slow or anything like that, you don't have to feel like it's a competition. It's like if you're going slower, you just like raise your hand, someone behind you will just pass you.
Just to enjoy the car.
You just go around and I don't know. I think that was one of the biggest things for me that helped me actually learn the handling of the car, because I can take what I learned at the track, like just out on the roads, just daily driving, is I feel more comfortable like in like I guess wet conditions, or basically like if I'm going kind of fast going up to a turn, I know how much to brake or how to downshift, and it really played a part in just being able to, I guess, actually drive the vehicle to, I guess, like the highest degree that you can do it. Yeah. Yeah,
I've like those kind of things, like even for someone who doesn't have a race car, like just a common car, if you can find out what's the limit of them, you'll be able to do certain things on the road. Like maybe if there's like debris in the middle of the road and you're going 60 miles per hour and you have to like immediately switch back, you'll be able to at least know how to handle it. Like those are really like cool to do, and it's pretty cool that guy or that place lets people do that.
Yeah. So it was funny you're saying like in the road. Is last night I was driving home, it was about 12:30 in the morning, and there's I don't know what it was, these big plastic pieces just out in the middle of the road, and just kind of cruised around it. I mean, something where someone may like freak out or try to jump around on the cars. Like I was just like, that was a little cone.
I was racing this Porsche racing, you know, but we're just playing the whole cat and mouse thing, see who can go through. And dude, there was like a nasty, like big ass tire just in the middle of the road. A tire. He saw it first, course, because in front of me, but he just saw it and did this. I was like, oh, I'm fucked. But then I did it, and I felt my car just kind of like do some weird, like kind of like twisting like that. And if it wasn't because of me going to the autocross and knowing how to like fix the issue, like I would have probably spun out like the whole way. Because if a car, so I made a right, but there was a car already on the right lane, so I had to like make kind of come back to it, and my car like kind of like locked out a little bit.
Gotcha.
But then I was like, all right, just let the wheel go, just let the wheel go, and it adjusted himself. If I immediately would like
the overcorrect, that's whenever people have the issues with it.
I actually did that one day when I was driving a truck. It was in the rain. I autocorrected, and the whole truck just swibbed all over the place.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was like, fuck. Let's talk about the orangutans, man.
The orangutans.
The orangutans, like.
Man, you gotta tell me. You said something about them being extinct here.
No.
Going into extinction, or
they're entering the Stone Age.
Oh, entering Stone Age.
Yeah, a year ago, apparently there was like there was like a photographer that took a picture of the orangutan that was using a spear to fish, and then later on, like throughout the time, they started seeing more of that little pack thing, little tribe. Because I don't know how. Do you kind of know how like orangutans work? The little colonies?
How they have their own groups.
Yeah, so that whole group started kind of like, because of that one skill, they started overgrowing everyone else's group.
Huh.
Dude, this is like humanity. It's like England had the ships and they took over, and it's like these little orangutans. They had that one skill, and then they were beating all these other orangutans.
I mean, that's the way it is. I guess like I've seen it before, where the older ones are teaching like the little younger ones. Like where I don't know if you ever seen where they got like little like nut on the ground, and the bigger ones are breaking it with a rock. Yeah. Then you got these little ones that are sitting there trying to do it. It's like if one of them learns it, they all learn it. So I don't know. I guess it makes sense, because as the world, I mean, we learn more and more every day. So I mean, I'm sure they learn more and more every day if they pass it on. It's like you may be like sitting there typing on the computer next to one in the future.
Ain't that be some shit?
They'll teach you how to go spearfishing afterwards.
They have orangutans. I think are the closest like geno or whatever to humans. There's like 1% difference in DNA. That 1% was enough to like divert humans or Homo sapiens like from doing that kind of stuff. So I was like you can teach one how to sign language. You can, they have a lot of the same cognitive abilities as a human. Like they have this one camp in Japan. There's like a lot of chimpanzees. Dude, this reminds me of like the whole freaking like World of Apes like scenario. They have a camp of chimpanzees. They teach them how to do certain things, and like just clicking computers for solving problems. And every single time they solve it, they get a treat. Like food.
I think I'd seen something like that where they had all these different buttons, and it would kind of say a word, and if it knew, like say it said banana, and then you'd sit there and it'd have all these fruit pictures, and it knew which one to push each time.
And if they get it wrong, like they'll get shocked. So I mean that's like different groups. They're like testing out. But dude, it's like crazy how like it was a Japanese like thing. I got it from Vsauce. You heard of Vsauce? You heard of
No,
Vsauce?
I haven't heard of that.
It's one of the dudes that has a YouTube channel too, and he's like really big. He does a lot of those experiments. But he went to the thing and how he was trying to compete with the monkey on trying to solve certain things. Monkey, my bad. People could get offended. That chimpanzee was beating him on like thinking quick, because apparently their brain they have a quicker brain response than humans. Like humans think longer than chimpanzees, and like that little monkey like saw one thing, like clicked it. And also with memory, they have the ability to store up to like probably 16 to 22 items in their head in order.
Oh,
and
really?
a human only does up to 6 or 7. But I was like, what the I was like, damn, imagine if those things like start learning how to actually create more things and build things. Like, we're done.
Well, that goes into, do they eventually get paid for what they're doing? They can do a job well? Is that just food, or is that cheap labor? I mean, we got to maybe think ahead and think about like maybe if we get a couple friends ourselves, like we can teach it, if we can get some income and then help them out.
Apparently, like so it's a what's it they bring in like chimpanzees and other kind of monkeys to kind of get them heal better and to put them back in the wild. Some of them have learned to stay.
Really?
Yeah, they don't leave because they know it's like all I gotta do is click buttons and stay and I get food. And it's like they won't leave.
Yeah, they got the better life.
Yeah, they got the better life. Some do leave, but like a lot of the chimpanzees have stayed there, or there's like certain areas where it's open where they can come in and out. and they like learn how to actually like open the door that way other animals can't get in. It's like higher up in the tops, and they'll like just press like a couple buttons, and then the latch will open and they'll come in and out. But some crazy shit, man. Like,
yeah, it is.
the chimpanzees are just like, let me go in my little area, just press like 2 or 3. It's a code to get in. You know, it's like a human has like, oh, I'm gonna have an access
I
code.
have the alarm at my house, and sometimes I open the door and I'm like, wait. I'm like, all right, please don't set it off.
I did that at work one time. I fucked up the number, and the whole alarm went off. I got called by like 2 people, like the president of the company and then the manager. He's like, hey, are you good? Like, are you right at the shop? I was like, yeah, I'm at the shop. He's like, all right, good. I'll let the. There's one cop that showed up. I got freaked out. I was like, I ain't never doing that shit again. So that's scary.
Yeah, but from what you were saying, like before, like with the orangutans being able to memorize that type of stuff and then just have it in their head, and I don't know, maybe our issue is like we're seeing so much different information, seeing all these advertisements, seeing all these things all day. Is like our mind gets clouded. While like there, it's like I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this, like where it's more set up in line. So
I think it is. It comes something with the evolutionary side where, you know, yeah, we have phones to like, you know, for our stuff to keep memory, but it's not even that. This is like way back then when we started kind of like we as in like human society or Homo sapiens started living in one area. They didn't have to memorize certain things because everything was like, where do you pick up food, or like where do you go hunt? Instead of like now hunting, they started agriculture. Like the weapons they have to create, they didn't have to really create weapons. They have to create tools for agriculture. Homes, they didn't have to really, like they didn't have to memorize a lot of things because they weren't moving enough. You know, a lot of times. So their ability to keep a lot of things in memory kind of went away because everything was kind of starting to become the same, or only one or 2 things they had to kind of memorize because everything else kind of like a repetitive order. For like chimpanzees and orangutans, like they have a territory, but they're somewhat nomadic because they'll go around certain areas. They have their little nest, but I mean, come on, you have to memorize all these like plants and fruits, animals that kill you, patterns. You know, you're not worried about, oh, am I gonna get attacked by a jaguar today? You know, so
you probably already know where it is.
Yeah, but like, you know, it's like it started back in evolution's time when you started going from having to memorize all these things, and also it comes down to like the flight or fight. I don't know if you heard about that. So you know, we don't have to really worry about it too much anymore. You know, we're not in a situation where our flight or fight situation will be, this person just says something mean to me. Should I say something back? Should I ignore it? That's you know. But for chimpanzees or orangutans, like, there's a jaguar on the bottom that can come jump at us. Like, what do we do? Do we attack it, or do we, you know, those are like life death. So their minds like think a lot quicker, and they have to basically kind of keep a lot of steps in order. So I mean, that's from what I like have heard and like read articles on. Like, that's why they're able to do that. Because I think for humans, our frontal lobe is more developed than theirs, and that's what makes us basically different. Let me just restart the thing, but the thing will record, so.
Grab some water real quick.
Yeah, man. Water's good. Especially after that toast.
Yeah. Some nice French toast.
What are you doing with that YouTube channel?
With the YouTube?
Yeah, just for the hell of it, or?
It all kind of started off as, like, you see some of the first videos, it's like me driving the car, like, in the snow, or like a snowboard video, and it was more of, I wanted to set it up for, like, I guess, like, friends and family to be able to see, like, me going on trips, and basically just, like, a way to, like, I always did videos whenever I was younger, but it was, hey, let me invite you over and we'll watch it on my computer. We didn't have like where you put it all on YouTube and all that stuff. And if you did, it was just really crappy, like less, like 144p or something like that. Like it was just all pixelated. And so I was kind of like, oh, well, if I'm like doing videos or something, that'd be cool, to be able to put it on YouTube. And if, see a friend, they're like, oh, you went there? I'm like, yeah, if you look it up, like I have this. And then whenever I started posting kind of like stuff with like cars, I was thinking, well, maybe I could get a little bit more into this. And whenever I first bought my car, I was watching videos constantly of people doing like modifications, installs, or like car meets, like what their cars look like. And so I was thinking maybe if I start kind of, I guess, doing some of these videos myself, I could like do it with a little bit more detail, or maybe do it like from a different angle. And so I was thinking maybe it would help someone else out. And whenever I started actually kind of doing like some how-tos, I got a little bit of good feedback, but it was more just for like people around the area. If they were like asking on like the local group page, I'm like, hey, if you look on this channel, I did it already. But then I noticed start getting some like subscribers to the channel, and for a while it was maybe about 35 or 40, and basically sat like that for about 6 months, and then slowly it just kind of was more and more people. And I think now like it's not anything too big. I think there's like 950 or so subscribers on it, but it's more of a getting into it just because I enjoy it, and I like being able to kind of like look back from like looking at the first videos of the car back like in early 2017 till now. I'm like, man, I thought I was like the bomb with like these little like fender like little badges and like the emblem overlay. I was thinking, yeah, they should have me like at all these top shows and stuff for these little sticker pieces on it. And now I'm like, man, what was that? Maybe like $5 in modifications.
The one thing you did with the on the side where it says WRX, and how you blended it all to look like one piece.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that right there was like, yo, that's actually like those little details are pretty cool that you want to know. And like you said, it's all local. And sometimes you just need to kind of know someone local in order to really be like asking questions.
But apart from it too, is like do some stuff on YouTube and then like on Instagram as well. And I'd started that just by someone saying, hey, if you message me your address, I'll send some stuff to you for free. And I was like, oh, okay. It was just random Subaru gear, but it was like, I don't even have, it's in my car.
Oh, nice.
But sorry. I was like, I don't even have Instagram, so I made one, and then since then I talk with a lot of people. I mean, really daily on it, but it's where I've made a lot of connections, and people have like just randomly messaged saying, "Hey, I see you're in Houston. Like, do you mind helping me out with this or this?" And all of my knowledge has just been from personal experience and then watching YouTube videos, and so I'm no master mechanic or knowledgeable of all of it. Basically, just bolt-on stuff or minor type of I guess you would say like issues you would have with the car. But it's cool to have the community where you can actually help someone out, or being able to I guess point them in the right direction.
And that's like we talked about that Instagram. It connects you with people. Like a lot of people that I've talked to, or like I've seen, I see my car mates. I was like, hey, yo, man, just like I'll message you on Instagram, or like, oh, I don't have Instagram. You know, it's kind of like, oh, okay. It was like, we'll just exchange phone numbers, but it's not the same compared to like on Instagram. Like, I don't know what it is about it that you kind of keep more of a connection.
I don't know what it is too, because I always was like, getting people's numbers, but it's odd because there's some people I've been friends with for like 2-3 years that I don't know their phone numbers, but I talk with them probably like every 2 weeks.
all the Space City Subies guys. Well, that's all my friends. Like all my friends, we're one of the reasons we use. So we try to use like a group chat on message, like just regular messages. iPhones and Androids, like the messages didn't cooperate well, or so we started using Instagram, and that's how we just communicate, just a group chat through Instagram.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes it deletes it. Do you have that issue sometimes where messages
I've only done it on Facebook, like where it's group chats. I do individual on Instagram, but on Facebook there's some group chats. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, like it's helped me. Like for a while it was like a group of like 8 people, and it was just kind of text on there, and like whoever wanted to do something, you just either join them or wait a couple days and try to join up with them again later.
Yeah. And like I don't know, like I said, I don't know what it is about like when you have people connecting through Instagram or Facebook and like social medias where you're able to kind of stay more connected compared to messaging.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I don't know. I'm more of a kind of guy that if you need something, or I don't really like texting, just like call.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of the people I talk to, like we can have text like Okay, yeah, cool. Like that was pretty cool. Like the boring like conversations when we like get face to face, it's like a non-stop talk.
Yeah.
So I'm a kind of guy that like just call me instead. Just call me.
I'm kind of like that too.
Yeah.
But it depends on the person. Is like some people are like, hey, you want to do this or this, and you're just like, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, what's the address? This is the address. Okay, I'll see you then. You got some people that are like along the lines like, well, are you gonna wash the car? Are you gonna wear this shirt? Are you gonna what time you gonna get there? Should I get there? Like all this random stuff is like, man, I'm not about to like have like a 3-hour long conversation where you could call me on the phone like you were saying, and like we can figure out what you're trying to do in like 15 minutes.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's very true. Like when you have these conversations where you're trying to talk about little things and like, dude, just call me. Hey, like you said, it's a 10-minute conversation instead of a whole day worth of texting. And like, but like I was saying, it's like messaging through like your phone number. It's very kind of like, I don't know. I feel like when you do that, you're kind of going into like their personal space. Like if I don't know you that well, and I text you through your messaging like that.
Yeah, I guess it can be like that. Or it can come across like that. I mean, I've had some people that I meet like, hey, what's your name? And then like, hey, do you go to meets around here? Yeah, I do. Okay, what's your number? Do you mind texting me next time you come out? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But then I'm actually going through my phone and I'm like, see names and I'm like, I don't remember who these people are. And I guess that may be like why like Facebook or Instagram. Instagram mainly is cool because it's like, hey, I kind of forgot about that guy you clicked. Oh yeah, he had this car.
Yeah.
Like he had this, or oh, I saw him at this event. So.
Or you like kind of pick up who they are because they have a profile of who they are, and it is true like that. It's or like when people sometimes ask me, is like, hey, like you have like what's your phone number? I was like, well, I have an Instagram. Mm-hmm. I was like, I don't know what it is, but I mean, like for my job, I have 200 people, on my phone number just from work. So having to add another phone number there, it's for me just feels like.
Yeah,
it's like another guy's texting me from here. But at the same time, it's like on Instagram, it's just I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. Like I can kind of respond quicker.
Yeah.
So.
But I was never really like throughout high school and everything. I wasn't real big into all the social media stuff. It was more of just I hung out with my group of like 10 friends every day, and that was whenever we would just text everyone. But I had moved here to Houston in 2015, like January 2015, right at the start of the year. And my dad lives here, but I didn't know anyone around the area. So probably for about a year, it's more of just kind of seeing people. I played golf a little bit during that time and would meet people, but a lot of those people are kind of
older.
Yeah, older. They're just kind of stuck up the way that they are.
Oh yeah.
So I wasn't really making any friends that way. And then like whenever I actually got the WRX, I was like, hey, there's probably some car stuff around here, and I'd seen a couple like where they had waved, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna look into it. So I looked on Facebook and then found a couple groups and went out randomly to my first meet here in Houston. I had no clue what to expect. I didn't know if they were like a tight-knit group where it's like, oh, who's this guy? Maybe we should jump him and steal his car type of deal, or what? Like I had no clue what to expect. I pulled up and like, yeah, it's kind of like like somewhere off a Clay Road over there near that detail garage place, and they're like, yeah, why don't you pull in the garage here and just park right here, and like we'll get you a good spot. I was like, all right, I have no clue who you are,
cool kid from the beginning.
But then like whenever, it was real cool because I had like a front lip on there. This is the best car.
Oh, this was a new car too. Yeah. A new car with a front lip.
The thing was, that was kind of how I met. And like everyone that I talked with today was through the car scene.
Did you always were you always into cars or?
Not really. I mean, mainly all I did was skateboarding before, but I hung out with friends, like was at the skate park every day. It didn't matter like who drove what or whatever. All we did was just skateboard. But I had a couple of accidents with that, like where I was going to the hospital because I got to the point like where it was like if I was trying something new, it was pretty dangerous where I was going to get hurt or could possibly get hurt if I didn't land it. But then like if I just like toned it down, I was way too bored with doing like the same stuff over and over. and I just kind of had to get out of that. So I really went about like 2-3 years where I really didn't know, kind of bounced around like trying different things out. But then whenever I got the car, that's whenever that really kind of stuck with me, and I really like moved on from there. So from like answering your question, I haven't really been all into cars a whole lot. I've always liked like cool cars, but didn't
like
know too
car.
much about them. I didn't know like modifications or how to do anything with them, and so really like the WRX kind of like opened me up to like learning about all the customization and what you could do and how to push cars and culture itself of it.
That's pretty crazy because like I don't know if you've like kind of seen this, but a lot of the people who are like into skateboarding, BMX kind of stuff, they like once they get older they get into cars. A lot of the people I know from high school that are like just big like skateboarders and stuff like that.
Oh really?
All of them have like cars, like nice cars that they modify, and they're into cars. And it's kind of like, how does this trend happen? And then like also like in other areas like that dude, what's his name, Adam LZ. How he went from BMX to cars, and all these drifters went from.
Well, I mean, you look at some of the Subaru drivers, like how they had Bucky Lasek before, and like Travis Pastrana now too. Is like one came from skateboarding, one came from motocross. I mean, they still do their like original sport, but rallycross drivers.
Especially those big dudes. Like they were all BMX and skateboarders. And, like they're not like they're just some people that liked skateboard. Like they did it as a profession at one point.
Yeah.
And then they moved to doing rally cars. It's like, how does that? What? And then I looked into it. It's like I guess the adrenaline.
Yeah.
And like you said, stay safer.
Yeah, there's an adrenaline to it, and you're a little bit safer, like being in a car versus bike.
Yeah.
As well as because I looked into getting a bike whenever I first came down here to Houston, and I think you may have talked about in one of your other podcasts, but I'm not going to drive one around here in Houston. But I was like, I still want to be able to have kind of like a feeling, and so I was like, it's definitely not it's not the same, and like anyway, like compared the two, but it does have some similarities, you could say, like with like a manual transmission or
you hear that?
A little bit. Yeah,
it's a loud car.
Maybe it's yours.
That sounds like a Subaru, right? I don't know what it is. Anyway, sorry, but threw me off. It's a loud car. But
what I was saying is I ended up getting the Subaru because it had a manual transmission, had a little bit of boost on it, so you could, whenever you put the pedal down, it had a little bit of go to it. But besides that, it's more something to try to feel a little bit more connected with the road rather than just sitting in the car, sitting back, like listening to music, just chilling. As I wanted something where I felt more engaged and just doing the same routine driving every day. That's what's cool about the car is like I can take the same route every day to work, but like hit a turn a little bit differently and just kind of like push it. I mean, even though it's just normal driving, you can still kind of like whip around cars or something like that.
It's there's one road, like my job is like 5 minutes away from my house. But there's this one road that like has a 90-degree turn, and like you said, every single day I pass by it 4 times, because when I go and come back from lunch, I always take that road, and it's every single time I try to hit it like faster or different. And I've seen a lot of people like basically fall into the ditch. Really? Like it's like the road is probably like 10-12 feet off to where the ditch is at. So you gotta be really careful. I've seen a lot of cars just go in it because I like my house is like probably like down the bayou, so I'll go walk or bikes. I'll see a lot of cars like stuck, but every day I try to like I'm careful, but I'm trying to hit it differently. Every single time, see what's the quickest, or can I like toe whip it a little bit, At one point I want to be able just to like hit it and just drift that thing, but it's like it's fun, like you said, to have a car where every day you do the same route, but it's doing something different, or just the enjoyment of being able to drive that car.
I mean, that's what we were talking about a little bit earlier, like going to like the little mini track thing, or even going out to a parking lot and just taking turns. Is like if you can get a little bit of that practice in as well, as you go up to that turn and it's kind of like a deja vu type thing, is you see the same turn that you saw at the track, you see the same turn that you were making in the parking lot. So it's like, okay, I got it this way, and you feel more comfortable going into it. And the more comfortable you become, the more fun it is. And like when people start like drifting, like dude, you see some of the people that do some turns and I'm like, damn, that looks so
crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But they have so much control with those cars.
Mhm.
Like you can take that car right into between like a curve and go around the pole and then go in between another intersection. And you're like, no, I will crash my car. But they have so much control. Or the people you see like just taking a big ass like drift around. There's like the roundabouts, and they just
watch those.
I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. You know, it looks so much fun, but at the same time it's so sketchy. Like,
yeah,
one, it's illegal, and two,
I'd be going like 10 miles an hour and like kind of cut it loose and be like, oh, did you see that? Did you see that? Or they're going like 100 plus, just complete sideways.
Or what's another thing? We went to a meet, I think, one day, and I think I did I tried to do a donut, and I was like, damn, I did a pretty cool donut, you know.
Yeah.
And then my friends were like, you really didn't do anything. You just kind of went around a little bit, and you kind of like hit it, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
But then I was like, wait, if that felt good, and I didn't even do it, I would have. I wonder how doing it like a legit just donut, just like ripping it. Like I wonder how they'll feel.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to go like to a drift event.
Jump
in one of those cars.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done that?
No, but I followed them at the track before, like where I'm riding the track, and then they're in front of me or behind me, like drifting. So I was like getting good camera shots, but also I'm like, man, that'd be pretty sweet. But also too is like whenever you're at the track drifting, you're actually a little bit slower than actually like someone just riding the track. So I was also kind of like, hey, do you mind kind of? I'd try to like kind of move out of the way, and then they'd be sideways, and then I'd get on this side, then they'd flip back the other way. So
taking up the whole track.
It was like, like a drunk driver trying.
When I was younger, I thought that drifting was actually quicker because you're able to get through the turns quicker.
Yeah, I thought that at one point too. Yeah, thinking that you're more in line with going.
Yeah, I was like, oh, maybe because you don't slow down, you're you know.
Yeah.
That's why. But in reality, you do slow down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just keep going. I'll just restart with the voice still here. Yeah. But I want to have like a drift car.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty cool to have one, but it's money, dude.
Mm-hmm. Also too, as you're learning, the thing I've noticed is that you have to be able to be okay with the car getting beat up a little bit. Yeah.
And that's money.
And definitely not a car that you have to rely on either. It's something that you can take out whenever it's good to take out.
But it comes again too. It's like it's money. Because you know it's gonna get messed up. Or if you're okay with it, you know it's like, oh yeah, I really don't care about the body work, but the engine work, all that kind of stuff that you know, and then just not just that, but maybe just common use of tires. Yeah, you go through a lot of tires.
Oh, it can get real expensive too.
And even if you get the cheapest tires for like $50, you know, a used tire, but come on, man, $50 for a tire is $200 for a whole set. If you do that every month, like.
I don't know. I think a lot of it is kind of like what your passion is. Like if you really enjoy doing it, then put your money into it. But it's hard to really, I guess, kind of figure out if like, hey, this is something I really enjoy because it's a lot of money up front to be able to get into something like that. And I don't know, maybe we just got to find some friends that'll let us borrow theirs for the weekend. Or be like, hey, I'll buy you a set of tires if you let me take it out. No, I didn't have a front bumper when you gave it to me.
Nah, there's so one of the people that helped us out a lot is KTW. They're like a tire company. They give us some pretty cool prices, and we go to them like, you know, several times and stuff. And I'm like, man, if I could buy like a daily or another car like that car, I would have been taking it to the track. And I feel like tracking the car, it doesn't damage the car as much compared to like drifting it. I don't know why. I feel like,
no, that's true.
Yeah, but like if I have to go through tires, I'm like, I could just go to them. And then like after time, like I'm just keep buying. Like if we can get some cheaper tires, like good cheap tires from them, like I'm set. You know. Yeah. Like I can't really disclose the price too much, but like I was gonna get some triple R8s. And they're gonna give me the price of like just like normal tires. You know, and I was like, hell yeah, but they didn't have them in stock, and I was like, all right, man, give me some time to get some money and get all four. Because I told you, I blew a tire over there at going to those cruises we go, and fuck, I was like, oh man, like I can't afford all four tires, so I was like, just give me some cheap like tires in the back, that way I can save money and get all four of them. But now winter's coming, so it's not really good to have those kind of tires around. But
oh yeah, some of the competition kind of sport
they're
ones.
not good in the weather like this.
Yeah.
The tires they gave me that were in the rears I have, they're like kind of, they ain't that good in the summer, but I'm noticing in the rain, like they grip a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like Houston rains a lot anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm good.
That was the same thing too. I rode with the stock tires for quite a while, and then upgraded to the Michelin, the Super Sport ones, and it was like a night and day difference with those. Plus, whenever I got a different wheel, so the tires are a little bit wider, so it has more contact. But from going out the little track before, I guess for those that don't know, it's like a shifter kart track or like a go-kart track they let the cars go out on, and so whenever you take your car, it's like turn and turn, and the car was just skidding like crazy before, and I'd put those other tires on, like I said before, a little bit of camber, and it was like just pulling through, like just easing around. It made it so much easier, and it made a world of difference. So
those Michelin Super Sports are really good. So they're up there in price, but it's kind of worth it.
I mean, the same thing too is I bought those I think I've had them a year and put about 10,000 miles and like 3 track days, and they still have tread on them.
Damn.
Yeah.
I thought they would have been like, because I've heard that those summer tires, the tread on them goes out quicker.
It does really well. I mean, you can't say go look at it later. It's still got plenty of tread on it.
I might just get those instead of the Toyo ones then. Shit. And then I've seen the track too. A lot of people hate on like, oh, it's a go-kart track. It must be slow or it's too tight. You can't really experience it. But like, those go-karts go to, 40 miles per hour, right?
Oh, they're faster than that. I'd say about 55, 60.
They're fast go-karts. Like, I was like, damn, we can't. Because the guy said you can do half an event of cars and then half an event of go-karts. And I was like, that'd be kind of cool because then you can kind of beat the hell out of your car.
Yeah.
Let it cool off, rest, not continue on. And then drive your little go-kart. You'll be all day, but you won't like damage your car all day.
I think the biggest thing with that though was like the autocross events. It seemed like it was all competition. You had 3 sessions basically where you just ride around the turns, and so by the end of it, you've driven total maybe
5 minutes.
I'd say maybe like 10-15 minutes at the most, and you're like, okay, what did I get out of this? I've been here all day, spent the $50 to $100. Where this was kind of like, this is kind of an autocross style with a little bit of track into it on some of these turns that we have in straights. So you can pay this and then be able to go out, take your own pace. If you're in the middle of the track and you get to like one of the corners, they have exits where you just dip off if you need to get off the track, or if you're or like feeling out of control, and you just ride around and get to the starting gate and then wait till the next group goes. So it was something, because I was a little bit nervous, because I was thinking if I am paying the money, I want to be able to push the car, but I don't know how to push the car. So this was a great stepping stone, because like since then I've driven some of the tracks like MSR out in Angleton, like where...
Oh, you driven that?
Like some of those straights, you're up to like 125, if not like going into like a straight like 90 degree basically. And so from I guess driving on that track, I was able to feel comfortable going out to the other track.
Damn. Huh. That's pretty cool. I've I done autocross, and I've done those roads where we go out to that, and and like the biggest reason why I kind of stopped doing autocross, like, it's expensive for 5 minutes worth of like driving. It's a lot more technical, and you have people that are teaching you what to do. And of course, the higher you go up in like, was not rank or level, but
class.
Class. The more professional it becomes, the longer you kind of drive, but the more technical, and but it's like, I'd rather go spend more money at MSR and have these 4 or 5 15 to 20 minute sessions. And
by the end of those sessions, you're like done. After about 10 minutes, you're like, oh man, you're still going.
So I was like, like 2-3 sessions, it's good enough for the body. 10-15 minutes is a lot of time.
You don't think about it. I mean, just like looking at it on your computer or something, signing up. But whenever you're actually out there driving it, where you've done like maybe about 6 laps already, and you're starting to like push like near kind of the final laps, it's like your forearms feel it. and you feel real in line, but I guess like the part where it can get dangerous is like if you start getting like a little tired or fatigued, and then you're not paying as much
sluggish.
attention. Yeah,
you start getting sluggish with the driving. That can get to you real bad.
Yeah,
or it's like when we go out to those cruises. Some people are, when I first started, I was like, I want more, but it's 20, 30 minutes. At one point we went 40 minutes, like nonstop, just freaking driving back and forth, and like I was like, you know what? This. I was tired. I was like, oh my god, when is this gonna end? And some other people were like, nah, like let's drive more. I was like, dude, here's the thing though, you gotta be careful with your car, because you might be able to do it, but your car can like basically explode at any point. Even if you have good everything, it's just a lot of beating. So, and it's like, it's just 10-15 minutes like of driving each session. Like it might not sound like a lot, but it's a lot for the body and the car.
Yeah.
So especially if you have like a daily driver, if your car's not set up to be like a legit race car, like don't even push more than that.
Yeah, I think that's they call it like track prep. I think there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, basically it can be a lot, or it can be a lot of like just checking. It's like you check your fluids here, check your brake pads, make sure that your brake fluid is good, and I don't know, just kind of maybe leaks or anything like that. But once you get out to there, you feel confident that the car is going to drive well. Now, if you're like trying to zip tie your battery down and like wrap the duct tape around the hose, like trying to go out there, then maybe you may not have as good as a day.
Yeah.
But I think, if you're smart about it and you go out there and drive the car well, not like where you're trying to like go full throttle at like 15k RPMs, getting out of a turn, like you kind of ease it in a little bit. If you drive it smart, then the car will do its job for you.
Yeah, and when like a lot of people kind of don't get the, like when like I said, backing up to the cruise, when I say prep up your car, oil change, tire checkups, fluids, and when you do tracks, like when you daily drive a car, when do you check the brake fluids? Like you check them every year.
Yeah,
it's still like still good. 5 years. It's like,
basically, if you're doing work around that area, then you might as well open the cap up and look.
Really
but when are you going to be doing that?
But when you do track events, the brake fluid can like get real nasty. It's like if you have a daily car and you haven't done any kind of checkups, like don't even like. It's not even bad, like maybe like for the car, but then you can like, what if your brakes go out? You're just going straight to like out of the track.
I've experienced like the brake fade before, and people will say it's real dangerous on there. I think if you're at like a big track with some bad pads or like some really old fluid, it won't ever be like where you see like in the movies where they're slamming the brakes and the car's not slowing it. The car does slow down, but as you're continuing to drive, you're continuing to push more and more, which in the result is creating like less brake. I guess
friction goes. Traction, I guess.
So you're losing some of the traction with the pad actually making contact with the rotor. So you're pushing hard, and then if it's having the brake fade, then that's whenever you can have an issue as well. And in the past, I said like I felt it where I'm like, okay, I need to take a break for a little bit. Then you get out and look, and your brake calipers are smoking. You're like, it's probably
like
time to take a break. Take a break for the brakes.
There's one, I don't know if you came. I think you were there. That one time my brake started eating that one line. I think I caught a rock in the brake or something like that. When we stopped at the gas station.
A while ago, but
I don't think you probably went to that one. That's the hardest I like pushed my car, like braking wise too. And dude, my brakes got hot. Like I see like when I was like around it, I put my hand next to the wheel, and they felt hot. Like I've never felt them that hot before.
Oh really?
Like they started making, like you can see the indentation where the rotor. You know how like you touch the very top and you feel the line on top. And I started feeling it, and that was just a 40-minute drive. Like where I always check them, and it's like, all right, it feels flush. That 40-minute drive, I felt the edge. I was like, ooh, okay, this is what people mean. Like, be careful with this. And
I had to get new rotors, because even the stock STI rotors I'd put on mine, it warped the front ones.
Damn.
Just from not, I guess I mean, I was really pushing the car, but also too is I wasn't, giving it cool down time and wasn't being smart about the way I was driving it versus it is basically just full throttle, full brake, full throttle, full brake.
I got 2 pedals. I'm gonna use one. Shit. I'm in the forum with the 80 Whole 86 group, and they go track a lot. Like that's their deal. Like they track their cars. They're not the kind of go to meet kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was talking to them, and they were saying, it's like, yeah, one thing you want to do to the car to really make it real good is just brake pads.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, the rotors are really good because the car doesn't weigh a lot. I was like, just get better pads. And it's like, and even then they'll heat up quick. And like all the people that go out driving, they take pictures and their brakes are just like red.
Yeah.
Like super red. She's like, just make sure you always have a change of rotors and pads all the time because they're gonna go out.
Yeah.
You know, and then besides that, suspension.
Yeah, I'd say fluid as well.
Yeah.
Subaru, I think, their vehicles just come with like a .3, which is a standard, but it isn't exactly a race or track type fluid, and so it's recommended to kind of upgrade. I think I upgrade to like a Motul, the RBF 600, which is more kind of like a track one, but you're supposed to change it out like really every session, but if you change it out, I think twice a year, then it's good.
I need to change mine now.
But upgrading to like a .4 or something, a little bit higher than that. Like I don't think you can do .5 with ours, but you can do the 5.1. And
I don't think you'll really need it. I mean,
no, you don't need to go too drastic, but like just the .3 it'll probably start getting hot.
Everything on these cars is just so they have potential, but they come with like some cheapest things. I don't know.
Yeah. Like
even for the engine, the like, in order for like you have the same engine I do, the F820, right? The rods go out once you go like around 300 horsepower, or like to the engine 300 horsepower, but everything else is fine. Just the rods. I'm like, you're gonna make me open up my engine to change out the rods just to go around 300 horsepower. I was like, why why just that one thing? You know, it's. Some of the things that comes with it is just like ridiculous. The brakes are also pretty bad. The tires are kind of horrible. What else is bad?
I think it's just cheap. Yeah, like a cheap mass production item that they can get and put on, have a good connection with. But I don't know. What I do like though is how there's a good aftermarket community for it, and a lot of products that you can get. It sucks buying the car and then having to be like, okay, well, I want to do this. I gotta buy this and this. I mean, it should come with it to an extent, but it's nice that there is products that you can buy that actually do help with it, like a sway bar, or different type of like cool over
strut towers, intercoolers for turbos are really nice. Tires are really whoever, but still that's still pretty good. Like diffusers, aerodynamics on those things, and but at least for your car, you can at least kind of say, oh, I'm gonna upgrade to the STI and get a better model of what it is. Like for the 86, it's just
I mean the 86 have really good I guess handling with it is
but they come with really light tires. So it's like
tires on.
But you like they promote how good it handled, but the tires are like, they always say just change the tires and the suspension and you'll be better off. And I'm like, what? That is the handling. Like what the hell? So, but it's a what they say. It's a what is that word they say? It's a mod. I don't know, a car you can mod easily. That's what it's for.
Well, I think a lot of it too is some people, I really don't know. It'd be cool to know, I guess, the people that actually mod the vehicle versus just keeping it stock, or maybe adding a couple little random things to it. It'd be cool to learn that, because I don't know how their marketing is. They may be like, okay, the car can do this, this, and this, and it's like, okay, the people think it can do all this. Let's just throw the cheaper tires on there
and still sell it,
and then sell it. And the people are like, yeah, I got this. Yeah, this, where the people that are actually modifying it are like, okay, no, we need to change this out and this out. So I wonder, what their whole marketing scheme is on all of that stuff.
Maybe you're right, because I think, from a marketing standpoint, you want people to buy your car, but they're not gonna buy it if you have, let's say maybe their limit is $30,000. Like, I'm not going above that. But it's like, oh, but this car comes with really good tires. You're gonna buy anyways. They comes up to be $32,000. Like, I'm not buying that car because it's above my pocket. But if you keep it at 30 and you bring it down 30 because you got some cheap tires, cheap wheels or whatever, then they're gonna buy it. And then later on, they're still gonna modify it anyway. So I guess from a marketing standpoint, you want people to buy it, they're gonna modify it anyways.
Yeah, you're right too. I was just thinking as well as like, say you got like Walmart brand Supreme tire, and then you see the commercial for it, and it's gonna be a guy drifting and all of this stuff, and there's like Walmart Supreme tire. It has something to give you like that, but yeah, it's a marketing thing to, I guess, an extent. That's a little over the edge, but yeah.
Sam's Club has some really cheap, like, good tires.
Oh, really?
Like good tires. They have Toyotas, Michelins. They have what's the other thing called? Firestone.
Yeah.
Like, they have good tires for cheap. Yeah, I need to get a better camera. Still upgrading, still slowly getting it here and there, but.
Well, you got a pretty cool setup, doing all of this here.
Yeah, like I said, like, I wish I could, so this is basically suite, right? Like, you rent out. I really need if I make enough money somehow, or find the money to, like, be able to rent this out and be, like, mine. Like, there's other offices here that are theirs. I could just set up everything. Lighting right now is kind of bad. If I can set up 2 mics and actually set them up where you have your own mic, I have one mic, 2 cameras, pointing at each other. Like, there's things that I do want to do still. It's just like, one is money and one is like, actually it comes to money. It really just comes to my money, because if I have the money, then I can rent out the area and I can buy more stuff to put it down here. But I guess just slowly, by little bit at a time.
Think of it like your car. You just slowly add a little bit more to it. Then
I'm just looking for some sponsors.
With like the rubber mats on the walls and all that stuff.
Have my big face right there. I was like, I recognize that podcast. Why is that face is there?
You're like, thanks for coming. Here's your free hat.
I got your breakfast.
It's got a picture of my face on it.
I got your breakfast, yeah. Hey, everyone that comes through, I get them breakfast. And it's not Chick-fil-A breakfast. It's some.
It wasn't even cheap.
It's some
good
nice breakfast. Yeah. So at least if anyone wants to come by, you got some good breakfast coming in.
Yeah, I can vouch for that for sure.
What did you order? A French toast? You thought you can get like a little toast?
Hey man, it wasn't like a French toast. This is a big old stack. Had all this fruit
all around, a little cream and some weird sauces, and I was like,
I don't even know what the sauce was, but it was good.
Like I said, that the ketchup they have, dude, it ain't no regular Heinz ketchup. That's just it's thick. It's like very flavorful. Like, I was like, what the hell is this? But it's ketchup. I was like, that's our ketchup.
Yeah, so I'll have to go back there and try the place again for sure.
Yeah, they have these drinks that I kind of, it's so expensive. Like $10 drinks, dude.
Oh, really?
But they only have 3 items. That's what they're known for. They have 3 items, and it's their signature drinks or something like that. They have just like a type of fruit, another type of fruit, and the vegetable, or whatever variety they want. Or they have like vitamin in it, but it's still, there's 3 ingredients. That's all it has in it, and it's $10. I was like, bro, I can go to Whataburger and buy myself a whole meal with this. Like, I don't, like, but I guess it's just the bottle is cool, and the drink is organic and healthy, and these are fruits and vegetables you don't really like come across. Like, the market here for those items aren't like big. Of course, you're gonna import them and be pricey and stuff, but it's. I mean, if you have the money and if you like the food, or even if you do like the food, it's worth it. It's really worth it. So it's like my girlfriend. She got this fucking BTL, whatever they're called,
BLT.
BLT, yeah, like this huge ass little the actual food was as big, but the bun was smaller with that perfect egg and the wedges I was like, it looks so good. But what you got going on, man? What are your plans and stuff like that?
The car specifically, just basically put all the bolt-ons on it, looking to do E85 conversion right now. With our cars, they have like a low pressure fuel pump and then a high pressure fuel pump. And there's been two companies like Nostrum and then the IBR, I Build Race Cars. They've come out with their own pumps, and both of them have tuners have ran into issues using both of their pumps. So kind of letting it kind of fizzle out a little bit to where they can get those pumps all set up correctly to be able to run full E85 rather than having to do like a flex. So that was the purpose of it. And then I mean, the E85 is a big jump. The only reason why I haven't done it is because the people that I've seen that have done it run good about 2 months and then they start having issues.
Damn.
And it's at the time too, is like, my daily driver, that's why I've kind of held off, is I don't want to have issues having to go in and replace like a low pressure fuel pump, which is in the gas tank area, and like having to try to do that like a night before work or something like that.
Yeah.
It would just kind of suck. But now, I mean, my future plans for the car is to upgrade it to like a full track car and basically get cage put in it, get some actual racing seats on there, and E85 conversion on it. But apart from that, it's all just already set up. I mean, with like the maybe front mount as well. I have top mount intercooler right now, but like I said, it's kind of set up suspension wise, and I think basically all of the, I'm not sure what you would call it, kind of like supporting mods, maybe like like the
suspension.
Engine, suspension, but like kind of like a transmission brace, like a upgraded like the upgraded sway bar, and then engine mounts, all of that.
Little things that go behind the differential that kind of keep it more in place, and Have you changed the? What are your thoughts on changing out the Driveshaft? I heard when you go lighter, it's just like a whole big difference.
I think it can. I mean, I know that they have carbon fiber ones for ours, and people have just said that it causes some issues there at like the rear diff on it, is that it's putting too much torque on it, and so it causes a misalignment with trying to keep the wheels all balanced throughout the whole car. And I don't know, it's something I just have never really looked into. I know some people do run, like an upgraded lighter shaft, but I'm not too sure on how to actually go about setting all that up. And it's kind of the biggest thing, like we were talking about earlier, is like my knowledge comes from actually building, getting hands-on with it myself, or just spending time like really watching detailed videos on it. And so my knowledge may not be good on it now, but a couple months from now I may be able to just be like, I recommend this, and this, and you do this, and it's just all a part of it. But that's what I enjoy about the cars, is like being able to learn these things along the way. But you just kind of, I guess the hardest thing, and like one thing I try to do is be smart about it, is don't jump into something until I'm confident that I know how to get like an outcome that I want from it. Rather than let's put this on and see how it works. And there is a lot of people like that, and there's times I see them do it and I'm like, all right, go for it.
I wish I can be that like that, where let's just do it. Let's be the first person to do it and see how it comes out, but if it's like, damn, it doesn't come out good, then you're just like, I gotta go buy another part now.
I was gonna say, where you're hitting everyone up a couple months later, hey, can you come pick me up?
The one thing that I really am looking forward into, I have a couple friends that fabricate some stuff, and we are looking into doing a body kit for the BRZ, like a custom body kit.
Oh yeah.
And a like whole under panel diffuser front lip kind of like kit, and cheap too, not $1,000 for a whole bottom piece. Where it's probably the same thing for you. If you find a splitter that goes right underneath the car, it costs $600, $700.
Yeah,
like we're like thinking of doing it for like selling it for $200, $300.
Well, that's what's crazy too, is like the Subaru, I don't know what it is. The parts are expensive for it. Because like I told you, I had like the Maserati car. The parts are cheaper for that than it is for the Subaru. Now I'm not talking about like engine, like whole drivetrain, but like brake pads, rotors, engine oil, things along those lines. It's cheaper significantly than it is for the Subaru.
I don't know why.
Like a rotor itself was like $250 like for a single rotor, where if you get like the DBA one, like the Disc Brakes Australia, or if like you upgrade to Brembo, that's like $450 to like maybe $700 per rotor.
Yeah, I think the whole kit comes out of like $5,000, right? $6,000.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how high it is. Yeah.
How much was the Maserati?
For doing the brake pads and the rotors, it was $1,200.
It's like upgraded though, right?
They're the factory ones, but they're factory Brembo, made by Brembo. So
same thing. So that's crazy
yeah,
though.
so you
It's
can
like
basically say it, but yeah, $1,200 for all 4 rotors and brake pads. Where with the Subaru, if I'm thinking about it, that's $1,600 in rotors alone, and then pads are what, $200. So that you're looking at like. That's before tax, so yeah, you're looking at $2,000 for the Subaru if you're looking to like do a minor upgrade.
And I'm assuming that the pads and rotors for the Maserati are much bigger still.
Oh yeah, it's a 6-pot in the front and then 4-pot in the rear. So like what I have on the front of the Subaru is what's actually in the rear of the Maserati.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I thought about it, but I never really looked into like other prices of other like cars because it's just Subaru.
You don't pay attention.
Yeah, but some people were like same thing. Subaru's expensive. It's especially when you start buying these STI parts or the TRD. No, TRD, right? What is TRD? Right, the Toyota.
TRDs, Toyotas.
Yeah,
I guess
for
86 wise. Yeah.
Yeah, when you start buying those kind of parts, dude, you're buying luxury parts, but they're the same thing as any other stuff. And,
well, I mean, once parts hit the U.S. too, like whether it's from Japan or China, really China or Taiwan type of stuff, is so like expensive. They mark it up so much. Like, the biggest thing I've gotten into is like all the carbon fiber stuff, and like a little carbon fiber piece I had replaced not too long ago, brand new, is $300 just for
the
little area that goes around your cup holder. Yeah. $300. The guy, he had it and it had like a little scratch. The company like resent him a brand new one, so he's like, "Oh, I'll send you this one. Basically, I got it for free. I'll sell it to you for $100." I was like, "Okay." It has a little scratch. You're like, "Yeah," and I get in the mail and I'm like, "Okay, where's the scratch at?" There, I found like one little piece and just put a little bit of clear on it. You can't even tell. Dude. But like for that part, I mean, I can look at it, talk with companies overseas, and find it for $100. But once it comes over here, after I guess they really have to wait about a month and a half. More. It's just, I mean, so much more. I guess so much more to it. I guess like you're paying that higher price because that person waited so long and had to deal with, I guess, probably people who aren't the best at making some sort of overseas transaction for you. It's
also how do you know kind of how they ship stuff from like overseas? They wait. They put them in containers, of course, but they wait until the container's packed.
No, I got you.
So, like some cars, you can wait 6 months for a car, and then some other guy right behind you can wait a month, and you're like, why are you like what? Or let's say the guy buys a car or parts like in June, and then here comes like August, and your car's like, oh, I got 2 more months till my car comes in, but then this guy buys parts or car like in August, but he's like, oh, just wait 2 months. So you're like, wait, why is that guy waiting long, like less time than I am? But it's like, it's because they have to fill up the container. And that's where, if you want the part now... Yeah, that's probably why shipping is so high. So that makes sense. So it's like, but it's still, fuck, man. Like,
and going through trying to go through all the customs too. Is whenever I got the brake pads in, I didn't know this, but Brembo actually has a company or a factory in India. And because I looked at tracking, I was like, man, what's in India? And I looked it up, and they have a company, Brembo, they're in India, and they sent it over, and it took like, I think 3 days for it to come from India to my door. I was like, man, how did they do this? Because it's like, whenever I ordered the actual rotors itself, it took about 2 months for them to come in, and that was coming from Italy.
That is quick though to get from India to your house in 3 days. Yeah. That means they took 1 day to go from India to United States, another day to ship it out right there, and then another day to get to your house.
What was weird though is whenever I got the boxes, I guess originally a cardboard box. Whenever I got it, it was just a ball of kind of cardboard and then just like sealed in saran wrap and duct tape from them. I guess just opening and inspecting.
They didn't leave the little note.
It had a note saying it's been inspected. Yeah, and I was like, yeah, you can kind of tell.
I've had stuff shipped in from Mexico, and it's like there's always a little note that's like, oh, we checked it. Like we'll bring in like food, but like have you heard gorditas, like the food. Well, how much fuck man, well, they're like. Have you heard pupusas? Yeah, they're like pupusas, but like these are made out of wheat. I think it's called in English. It's like in Spanish, it's like gorditas de trigo, but they're like wheat, little, like round, like bread things, made, like kind of like wheat. I think it's wheat. I'm not sure, but it's food. They open it just to check there's nothing in there, so every single time they leave a little note like, oh, hey, we opened it. I was like, nah, shit, man. Like, I can tell it's been double taped, or like.
Right out of this.
They took a sample. So, oh, man, those customs, and it's crazy how the customs got after 9/11. They got wild with that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's reasonable. You kind of want to stay safe, but.
Yeah, that's kind of a double-edged sword type of deal. It's like you want to be safe, but also, too, is like there's. So much. I mean, I've gone through before where it basically just strip searched because I left my belt on.
Yeah.
And it beeped whenever I went through the detector.
You got those 360. Yeah, do those things. Like they were like, yeah, they can technically basically almost see through everything. And I know there is a big thing about like personal violation.
I guess so.
So where do you kind of like set a line or a limit where you're like, okay, yeah, you're trying to keep us safe, but this is now, going into my personal stuff, and I don't know.
I think you have to look at it kind of at a broader thing. It's like everyone's having to do it. It's not like an individual thing. Like they picked you out saying, okay, you have to go through this one, but everyone else is going through this. I think it's more of like this kind of what is set up. I don't know. Maybe some people may be more offended than other people who just blow it off and be done with it. But I guess I don't know for sure on it. I think you just kind of have to be like, okay, if I want to do this, I have to do this. And you have to tell yourself, okay, I'm okay with this, or if I'm not okay with it, then no, I'm not going to do it. But don't tell yourself I'm not okay with this and then go try to do it.
Yeah, and I like me personally for sure. I'm just kind of like, all right, you saw me naked. I'm just like, whatever. Like you've seen probably 50 more people in the last hour. Like you're not gonna remember a body either. But at the same time, it's like if it means that searching that one person that might have something bad, and then that one person was on my plane, and then it was like. It's like I always say it's like you don't think anything's bad until something bad happens to you, and it's true. It's like you can be like, oh, why are they doing that to that person? That's this and that, discriminating this and that, all this kind of stuff. But then what if that person did have something wrong, and now you're at risk? And what if they didn't search that person, and now it's on your plane, and now you're freaking out, and somehow everything goes good, you survive, and now you want to try to sue the airport. It's people are always gonna find a way to complain or.
I think we were talking about that earlier. It's like even too is like you make a situation out of nothing only to argue against it. It's like, come on.
When it comes to the whole
you just have
checking,
to go about your day to day I think it's just too much free time on some people's hands.
So I do get where some people come from of like those issues that like strip searching certain like individuals. Of course, like when it comes to airplanes, like Muslims are going to get hit more because discriminating, and it is true they are being discriminated against them just because of what happened, and it kind of sucks. But at the same time, like most of the people that have been caught like or Muslims, but then again it comes down to like other issues, where like some people are like, oh, we're discriminating that all Muslims are terrorists, and it sucks that you guys discriminate. But then, this whole shooting happens in schools, and most of the people have done it. If not all of them have been white. So I don't know. It sucks how you gotta discriminate against some people, but there's kind of facts. There's facts. Like most white people have done school shootings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of the people that are doing drugs are like Hispanics or Mexicans, you know, because they're the ones who bring the drugs. And most people have done like these like bomb threats have been from, you know, the Middle East. And it sucks how you gotta discriminate against them. You know, like you gotta basically put a picture on like, if you're this, you must be this.
It's kind of hard, like how you can make that generalization of someone. I think the main thing is not to generalize.
Everyone.
Like in your everyday, say your everyday, like say like, oh, we have a new person coming into work today. Do you mind training them for 2 hours or something? You come in and it's someone that you kind of have a stereotype of, but until you really know who that person is, then that changes. You're like, oh, yeah, they don't fit that criteria.
Yeah, it's always, like you said, it's a daily thing. You don't get away from looking at it as a daily like issue.
Yeah, I think people that have a real big concern with it or causing a lot of it are people who are trying to look at like a broad spectrum over it. But whether it's a stereotypical, like, I guess kind of like thought of it or not, I think you just have to focus more on like, what it is in your everyday life, who you're talking to or what you're talking about, rather than saying, okay, I'm sitting back here at my house on the computer. I think this about these people. I think this about these people. I think this. Okay, let me go type it all out and send it out to all these people. Yeah. And I think that's where a lot of it
like
comes
the
into
issue
play
comes
too.
from. Yeah, it's a everyday thing. You don't see like if like I have Muslim friends, like they're not terrorists. You know, like what the but a lot of people have that mentality. It's like, oh, Muslims are terrorists or F the Muslims, and I was like, dude, you're thinking about a broad picture.
Mm-hmm.
The people who are terrorists are the ones that are still like, acting on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this Muslim right here is not doing anything. It's like me and you. We're just normal people. Like I've had people who are like super ghetto, and you try to stereotype them as like, oh, like stay away from them because they're dangerous. But then they're like some of the smartest people sometimes you talk to. So it's like you said, it's like get away from the whole daily. Like the stereotyping the daily people you see in your life, because it's not.
I think even too is like it's kind of put into your head that way where it may be in the back of your head where you're thinking of that, but don't take that into initial, I guess, judgment of a person.
First get to know them and see who they are, and and then maybe the stereotype is true. I've had a lot of like Hispanic friends where they're like, oh, these people are like, what they say is like tecuaches or chuntaros, like those kind of like stereotypic kind of things, and at the end they are that. But there's nothing really bad with them. They're just people. That's their culture. That's what they like, and that's how they are. And sometimes it's true, sometimes not. But like you said, you can't take it all at first judgment, which kind of sucks. It was like that one dude I told you about that passed by. I had a Santa Fe sticker, and like I gotta say this part of the story. I had a Santa Fe sticker on the side of my car, and this guy came by, and he's like, "Oh man, thank you. That's really cool. Supporting Santa Fe," and he's like that, and I was like, yeah, man. I was like, I went to the cruise. I turned around, said something. He just like immediately looked away and just kind of drove a little forward. And I was like, okay. And as soon as he was passing by, he had a thing, build the wall and something like that. And I was like, my girlfriend was like, it's probably because they didn't think you were Mexican or something.
Oh no, this stuff is, it's really dumb. Everyone has their own viewpoints, and they're entitled to have their own viewpoints, but not enough to where something like that, like something normal. That's, I guess, one of those things too, is like, he doesn't know the person you are. He sees the sticker, thinks, okay, well, in reality, it is cool that you supported it. It is good. You are a good person for showing your support in that situation, but I'm going to judge you on this.
Yeah. Dude, I have a really good friend, like, we're really good friends, but we have complete opposite political views. His thing with, like supporting like to build the wall and stuff like that, and I'm just kind of like, oh, fuck that wall. I don't want that wall to be built. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? It's like wrong to put the money there in the economy, but then we have certain like topics that have like support veterans. And I was like, yeah, support the veterans, but then he goes into more money for the military, and I was like, no, you're wrong. We have completely different views, but we're good friends. Because at the end of the day, or at the end of the discussion, what's the number one thing you want to do is to help your people. It's like we just have different views on how to help them, and it sucks that because of that one little thing, you start judging them completely wrong, and oh, I don't like them because they like this.
Yeah, you're right about that.
But it's like, what are we trying to do at the end of the day? Help the people who are close to you, you know. So I don't know.
I think that's a good standpoint as well. Is help those around you, whether it's like family, friends, people like within the car community, people at work. I mean, I think it's always good, to help someone out, because you don't know whenever in return you're going to have to ask for a favor as well. There's some people that kind of take advantage of that, and that's people that I really don't try to hang around with too much. And there are those people out there that be like, hey, do this for me or do this, and okay, see you later, bye.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
Come on, man. But I enjoy that, building friendship or like building relationships with people through like helping them out or just going through experiences and stuff with them. I think that's cool. I mean, the biggest thing like with the cars, I found that through the cars, and I think that's pretty neat. Is I've been able to build relationships or like meet people just by saying, hey, you have this car, I have this car, that's cool, we got something to talk about. Rather than like if I go into like a bar or a club or something, hey, what do you do for work? Well, I do this. Okay, I do this. It's completely different. All right. Well,
I get you.
You just sit there and you got to pick. Okay, do you like this? Yeah, like this sports team.
Kind of forced in a way.
Yeah, do you watch the Texans or like you go to Astros game? You got to find something until you're like, okay, then you're good. Where I think with the car scene is that's where I kind of found a lot of it, where it's like, okay, we got a basis to go from, and then move on from there.
And like I said, go back to the whole thing is like helping people out. It's like that's one of the biggest things why I like really started this club is to help out. Like if we do car meets, we go to car meets that are like people are starting up the little businesses, you know. We're trying to get a shout out to like one of the biggest ones I'm trying to do now is like shout out photographers. There's a lot of people taking pictures, but like good work. Like, dude, I'm like, how the hell does this guy only have like 20 followers when these pictures are coming out top level, you know, like helping them out. And it all comes down to helping them out without asking for something in return. You know, you're doing it because you really want to help them out. I for sure ain't going out of my way and like making a big deal about trying to help them out, because I'm like, I'm not gonna help you out if I don't have time. But at the same time, it's like if you got the time or a little energy, help them out. Like it's like you don't know when someone's gonna like, you know, like you said, it's like you're gonna need help. So these cars, man, they get people. There's the scene where you're kind of like, oh, like other people, I've hit them up for like to do car shows, and they're like, no, the car scene's a bad vibe. But then others are like, dude, that's like you said, that's the reason why I have friends. You know, like for me too. You know, like maybe for you too, being that you're like you said earlier, you came to Houston and you bought a car, and that's how you started gaining relationships with people in Houston. Same thing with me. You know, most of my friends are from cars. So it's pretty cool that happens. Yeah,
it's weird to think about. I guess it's kind of maybe if you're playing a sport all the time or something, that it seemed really easy with the car stuff. You had to make friends. And it's not like you're having to do something like physically active, like going out playing soccer or playing football or something. It's not like, okay, whenever we're hanging out, we're doing this. It's like you can be friends with the car person sitting back drinking beer like out at the lake or out at your house. Is like it's not too difficult to do.
I mean, you know, when it comes to racing, your body gets put in. You get to chill with the person or like it's fun too.
Well, that's what you're saying, like like the experiences with them is like going out riding go-karts together or something like that. That's pretty cool. Going out and doing with your buddies.
Or yesterday when we went to a car meet and then we went to bombshells after. You know, it's you go to a car meet, but then it's like you have fun with them even now without cars. You get to create a relationship outside of cars too. You know, you find the little common things that you like. I was like, oh crap, like there's people that like, you know, rock climbing. They're into cars, you meet them through cars, but they like rock climbing, and now you're like, I'm friends with people rock climbing now. We have nothing in common in cars anymore, but you know, the rock climbing's still there. But that's pretty cool how I don't know, it's cool that you're able to do that kind of stuff with cars. So, or building them, just going at home, hey, y'all want to make some fajita? I was like, yeah, what's up? I was like, hey man, help me out like with this part, I can't do it, you know, just.
That's kind of how people say, hey, you mind if I come over and do this? I'm like, yeah, if you want to order some pizza or if you want to go out to dinner, it's like, we can do all this stuff. I'll help you out in all days. Like, you just want to, grab some pizza later. I'm good with that.
or it just happens. Like the one at Paul, the one that is with the Porsche. It's like every single time I go to his house, we're doing something to the car, and then, man, I'm hungry. I was like, fuck, let's order some Popeyes, you know. It's like, or some Whataburger. So I'm like, all right, babe, just make some food.
Yeah.
You know, and then like people start calling. It's like, hey, y'all still working on the car? I was like, yeah. I was like, we're about to eat. I was like, oh shit, bring me something. I was like, I'll bring something too, or. You know, and then, you know, half the day's working on the car, and then half the day's just chilling, talking mess. You know, just talking shit to each other, just having fun. But it's like it all starts from that one car we had to fix.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah. What time is it that we don't miss Lamborghini Festival?
Yeah.
We should probably call it a wrap right there or what?
Okay.
Yeah, it's called wrap. Hour 30 minutes, pretty good. Hey man, thanks for coming out. You know, it's pretty cool how you're able to come out, come do this little podcast with me. You know, everyone go check him out. I'll put down your Instagram link, your YouTube link. Like I said, if you don't know who he is by now in Houston, and I don't know what the hell where you're at, he's like at every single meet. You can recognize his car right away. You know, so you know, make sure you go give him a follow. Check out his Maserati. Check out his WX, his YouTube builds, and all these kind of cool things. But man, thanks for coming out.
Well, I appreciate you asking me to come out, man. Thanks.
Oh, if you have anything you want to shout out, you know, I just kind of shout out your YouTube, but anything you want to.
YouTube is WRX No Border. That's the same for Instagram. I mean, if you're local to the Houston area, then you can come out to any meets. I'll probably see you out there. So that's about it.
Shit, man. Thanks for coming out.
All right, thank you, man.
Yeah, so I'll see you guys next week. Like if you guys anyone wants to come around, if you have anyone suggesting that you think you know might want to come around too, just let them know. And it really doesn't have to be anyone like it's specific. It's just whoever wants to come out. Like you know, it's like they have nothing to do. Like the lady up front, you know, I might get her up. She's into fashion. I'm like, hey, just come to the podcast. But yeah, it's like really anything. Anyone wants to come around, just put out their their info, their opinions and stuff like that. If you have anything to say, just just come out. That way all 50 views on my YouTube channel come.
Sounds good, man.
All right, thanks a lot, man. So catch you guys in the next one.
All right.